MEC Disabilities, where we motivate, elevate, and celebrate.
Hey everyone, Nikki Sanger here with MEC Disabilities. I'm founder and president, and I just wanted to give you kind of my backstory on my personal experience with disabilities. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I had severe preeclampsia, and I was looked over at the hospital for a few days, and they decided to induce me early. And my daughter was born prematurely at 34 weeks. At about almost a year, or about a year and a half, she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. It was first thought of she just had hip dysplasia. Let me put out a little thing before I keep going. Please be your child's advocate. Be an advocate for people that you know that you think they aren't getting the right diagnosis. Keep being persistent. The squeaky wheel does get fixed. Let me tell you that. So continuing our story, my daughter was finally diagnosed with cerebral palsy. They're thinking it's in relation to her prematurity or with the fluid loss before birth. So she is a little go-getter though. She is working on crutches right now, but she right now walks with a gait trainer or a walker. We call it a walker at home. But we have gone to playgrounds and she can't go and walk on any of them. She can't pull herself up safely on any of them. And last year when COVID hit, we had a hard time going places because she couldn't go to school, she couldn't do anything, and she needed that social play aspect. So I would take her to parks, I would help lift her up on every piece of equipment, I would help try to make as many pieces of equipment as safe as possible for her. But now that she's getting older, she is getting more independent. She doesn't want me on top of her. She doesn't want me to play with her as much. She wants to play with friends. And so it's a big thing in our area, especially here in Southern Oregon. We just don't have the resources. We don't have the funding. We don't have the people that are willing to put in the work to get more ADA equipment. So our first location will be in Grants Pass, Oregon. And it will be a full ADA playground. It will be on private property. So there cannot be any people parking and living out of their cars in our parking lot. That is a big thing here in Southern Oregon. Being along I-5, there are people living in their cars in the parking lots at parks, doing drugs in the bathrooms. There have been needles found all over the playground, in the bathrooms, blood splatters. It's been pretty disgusting, quite frankly, and unsafe for every child that goes on the playground. Not just my daughter or any other child with disabilities, it's every child's safety. The MEC playground will be open to the public, but specifically for people and children with disabilities, because there will be equipment there for them to play on. If they have a wheelchair, if they have a walker, a gait trainer, crutches, whatever the case may be, they will have a safe space to play. And that is our number one goal for rural area communities, because we really need a safe environment for them to play in and for them to feel safe in. We are really focusing on children in rural areas for our first phase. So please subscribe, comment, like the video. If you have any suggestions, if you are in an area that you're like, I really need this for my child, I need this for kids in my area, I need these for my clients, or if you're a doctor, my patients, please email me, send me a letter to our PO box listed below, or comment below on where you would like to see these locations at. For our first phase, we do want to try to stay within 30 to 40 mile radius of a college that offers programs in either physical therapy, speech therapy, or occupational therapy. But overall, we would really like to see this happen. Our first year goal is to have 3 locations. on the West Coast for playgrounds, and then expand from there out to the East Coast. So if you do have a space that you really need, or you think that could really benefit from this, please let me know. We do want to make sure every child can have the ability to grow and have the same experiences as every other child. It is discrimination when they can't go on a playground and be safe. They can't go be with their friends safely. They can't walk even across a walkway because it's all cracked and bumpy and it's not a level place for them to walk on. So again, this all stemmed from COVID and my daughter not being able to go to any place safely. It's just really hard to see because there are not as many safe places anymore for children, let alone kids with disabilities. So she is my why for why I started this, but this is for every child and every child with disabilities, no matter how big and no matter how small. We do not discriminate. We don't discriminate against anyone. We want to make this a safe place for families, for caregivers. Anyone can come to these places. Our layout for the playgrounds and the playroom, the indoor playrooms, when that phase goes, it will all have the same layout at every location. So if you travel and you don't and you have a child that has anxiety or has they don't do well with change of environment, it will be the same at every location, so they will not feel like they are somewhere else. So it will be a safe place. And that is about all. We're gonna wrap up for today, but I just wanted to share why I started this and kind of get a little bit more out there with my story and my daughter's story, and in our area, because quite frankly, there are other areas like ours and I just don't go there. So I'm not sure, what places could also benefit from this sooner than later. But we are focusing on the safety and well-being of children, and we are focusing on the ability to expand and grow and letting children with disabilities have the same experiences just like every other child. They are no different. Just because they do things differently does not mean that they can't think for themselves, can't do things for themselves, or that they want to. So this is going to give them their independence, their social aspects of being with their friends at the park, and we will bring equality to the disability community. So again, please like, comment, and share, and subscribe if you'd like to know more or to keep up on updates. Thank you and have an awesome day, guys.